Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going to be diving into Tempus AI,
Oh, yeah.
a company that's using artificial intelligence to really, change the way we approach healthcare.
Hmm.
We've got a whole stack of articles, research reports all about this company.
Right.
And our mission today is to really understand how Tempus is actually making this idea of precision medicine a reality.
Yeah, it's a really fascinating story. And what's striking to me is how Tempus is tackling one of the biggest challenges in healthcare,
Okay.
which is making sense of just the mountains of data
Right.
that are generated every day.
Yeah, I was reading about that. It's like having a million pieces of a puzzle
Right.
all scattered across different systems and formats, right? You've got patient records, genomic data imaging lab results.
It's act.
It's overwhelming to even think about.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where Tempus's AI comes in. You know,
Okay.
what's really unique about their approach is that they built their system from the ground up specifically for healthcare.
Interesting.
So this isn't some general AI that they've just repurposed.
Right.
It's been trained on medical data, so it understands the language, the nuances, all the complex relationships within that data.
So it's like having a detective
Yes,
who specializes in medical mysteries.
exactly. And that specialized training is key because it allows Tempus to do things that other AI systems, even those developed by
Yeah.
big tech companies, just struggle with.
Okay.
For example, they've developed algorithms that can actually analyze unstructured data like doctor's notes, which are notoriously difficult to interpret but contain really valuable insights.
Okay, that makes sense. But, there are other companies out there working with healthcare data too.
Right.
I mean, electronic medical record companies, for instance, have been around for a while. What gives Tempus an edge over them?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
So while traditional EMR companies focus primarily on just digitizing and storing patient records,
Yeah.
Tempus goes much further.
Yeah.
They integrate multiple data types into a single platform
Yeah.
and then use AI to extract meaningful insights from that data.
Yeah.
It's the combination of comprehensive data and purpose-built AI that sets them
Yeah.
apart.
So it's not just about having a lot of data.
Right.
It's about having the right kind of data
Exactly.
and knowing how to unlock its potential.
Precisely. And this is where we start to see the emergence of what some analysts call Tempus's moat.
Okay.
The factors that make it really difficult for competitors to catch up.
I've heard that term before, moat.
Mm-hmm.
But could you explain what a moat is in this context?
Of course. So in business, a moat refers to a company's competitive advantage,
Okay.
the things that protect its market share and profitability.
Got it.
In Tempus's case, their moat consists of three key elements.
Okay. Let's break those down.
Yeah.
What's the first element?
So the first is their data advantage.
Okay.
We're talking millions of patient records, years of treatment outcomes, a massive amount of genomic sequencing data,
No.
all interconnected. This data is not only vast, but also incredibly rich and complex, reflecting the real-world complexity of healthcare. Replicating this data set would take competitors years and enormous investments.
It sounds like they've already solved half the mystery before the competition even shows up.
Exactly.
What's the second element of their moat?
The second element is the network effect.
Okay.
Every time a new hospital or research institution partners with Tempus,
Uh-huh.
they contribute their data to the platform, making the AI even smarter.
Interesting.
This creates a virtuous cycle.
Okay.
A smarter AI attracts more partners, which leads to even more data, and so on.
Right.
This makes it incredibly difficult for competitors to catch up,
Yeah.
because the more Tempus grows, the stronger their AI becomes.
It's like a snowball effect, but with data and artificial intelligence.
Exactly.
And what's the final piece of the puzzle?
The third element is the technical complexity
Okay.
of building and maintaining a system like this. It's not just about the AI algorithms. It's
Yeah.
about building a secure, scalable platform that integrates seamlessly with existing healthcare systems, meets stringent regulatory requirements, and adapts to the constantly evolving landscape of medical knowledge.
Right.
This requires a specialized team of experts with deep understanding of both healthcare and AI.
So they've got the data, the network, and the technical know-how.
Mm,
That's a pretty formidable combination.
it is.
But I'm curious, how is all of this actually translating into real-world impact?
One area where Tempus is already making a significant difference is in clinical trial matching.
Oh, yeah. I was reading that clinical trials are often very difficult to recruit for.
Right?
Can be a long and frustrating process for both doctors and patients.
Absolutely.
How is Tempus changing that?
So traditionally, finding the right patients for clinical trials involves manually reviewing stacks of medical records,
Yeah.
a process that can take hours per patient and is prone to human error.
Wow.
What Tempus has done is automate that process using their AI.
Okay.
Their system can analyze a patient's entire medical history in minutes, including their diagnoses, treatments, lab results, even their genomic information, and then compare it against the criteria for hundreds of clinical trials.
That sounds incredibly efficient. What kind of results are they seeing with this approach?
The results are impressive. For example, in one case, they were able to find 25 additional eligible patients for a lung cancer trial who
Wow.
had been overlooked by traditional screening methods.
That's amazing.
That's 25 people who now have access to potentially life-saving treatments.
Right.
In another case, a large research center saw a 40% reduction in screening time
Wow.
and a 66% increase in eligible patient identification after partnering with Tempus.
So that means faster recruitment, more efficient trials,
Exactly.
and ultimately quicker access to new treatments for patients.
That's the goal.
So it's not just theoretical. This technology is actually helping people right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what makes Tempus so exciting. They're not just building cool technology.
Yeah.
They're using it to make a real difference in the lives of patients.
It's amazing to see how this technology is already transforming clinical trials.
Hmm.
But we've only just scratched the surface of what Tempus is doing. I'm eager to learn more about their work in other areas like personalized medicine and drug discovery.
There's definitely a lot more to explore, and that's exactly what we'll be diving into next.
Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back with more from the Deep Dive. Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Before the break, we were talking about how Tempus AI is revolutionizing clinical trials,
Right.
but their vision goes way beyond that. I mean, they're aiming to transform the entire healthcare landscape, and the recent acquisition of Ambry Genetics is a major step in that direction.
Yeah, the Ambry acquisition is fascinating because it signals Tempus's move into this whole area of personalized medicine.
Okay.
Ambry is a leader in genetic testing,
Right.
and by combining their expertise with Tempus's vast data set and AI capabilities,
Yeah.
the possibilities are really exciting.
You've piqued my curiosity. Can you give us like a concrete example of what this might look like in practice?
Sure. So imagine a future where your doctor can use your genetic information combined with, your medical history and lifestyle data
Right.
to create a truly personalized health plan for you.
Okay.
They could identify potential risks years in advance
Oh,
and recommend preventative measures that are tailored to your unique genetic makeup.
interesting.
Or they could use this information to choose the most effective treatment for you, minimizing side effects and maximizing the chances of success.
It sounds like something out of science fiction.
I know, right?
But with Tempus and Ambry joining forces, it feels like we're on the cusp of making this a reality.
Exactly. And that's just one example. We could also see breakthroughs in drug discovery.
Okay.
Imagine using AI to analyze the genetic profiles of millions of patients,
Wow.
identifying new drug targets and developing therapies that are much more effective and have fewer side effects.
This is incredible. So Tempus is not just improving the efficiency of existing healthcare processes.
Right.
They're creating entirely new possibilities.
Yeah. Precisely. And their strong financial performance suggests that they have the resources to actually make this vision a reality.
Speaking of financials, we haven't talked about the numbers yet.
Yeah.
What does Tempus's track record look like?
Well, Tempus is a publicly traded company,
Right.
so we have access to their financial statements.
Mm-hmm.
And the numbers are very encouraging.
Okay.
Their revenue growth has consistently exceeded analyst expectations,
Interesting.
which tells us there's strong demand for their products and services.
That's a great sign. It shows that they're on the right track and capturing a significant share of the market.
Absolutely. And their margins are improving,
Okay.
which indicates that their business model is scaling efficiently.
So they're growing smarter, not just bigger.
Exactly.
That's a recipe for long-term success.
It is.
But with great success comes great responsibility, right?
Right.
I'm thinking about data privacy.
Yeah.
They're dealing with incredibly sensitive information.
You're right to bring that up. Data privacy is paramount, especially in healthcare.
Absolutely.
Tempus understands this, and they've implemented very robust security measures
Okay.
to protect patient data. They adhere to all the relevant regulations, including HIPAA,
Right.
and they've built their entire platform with privacy and security as top priorities.
That's good to hear. It's crucial for people to feel confident that their data is being handled responsibly.
Definitely.
As we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to touch on something you mentioned earlier,
Sure.
this idea of a paradigm shift in healthcare.
Right.
What do you think Tempus's success tells us about the future of medicine?
Well, I believe Tempus represents the beginning of a new era in healthcare,
Hmm.
one where data and AI play a central role.
Interesting.
We're moving away from a reactive, one-size-fits-all approach
Right.
to a more personalized, predictive, and proactive model.
It's like we're moving from treating diseases
Yeah.
to preventing them in the first place.
Exactly. And Tempus is leading the way, showing us what's possible when we combine cutting-edge technology with a deep understanding of human biology and a commitment to patient well-being.
It's an inspiring vision for the future of healthcare.
It is.
We'll be back with more from the deep dive after a short break. Welcome back to the deep dive. We've been talking about how Tempus AI is using AI to, really change the game in healthcare. From revolutionizing clinical trials to pioneering personalized medicine,
Right.
they're really pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Yeah, and what's impressive to me is that they're not just focused on the technology itself.
Right.
They're deeply committed to using it for good.
Yeah.
Their mission is to improve patient outcomes and make healthcare more accessible and equitable.
That's what struck me as well. It's not just about innovation for innovation's sake.
Right.
It's about solving real problems and making a tangible difference in people's lives.
Absolutely, and I think that's a big part of why they've been so successful.
Mm-hmm.
They've managed to attract top talent, build strong partnerships, and gain the trust of patients and healthcare providers.
Yeah.
They're really leading by example, showing the world what responsible AI development looks like in the healthcare space.
Their story is a testament to the power of human ingenuity.
Yes.
And our capacity to create positive change through technology.
Yeah,
It's inspiring.
I completely agree. Tempus is paving the way for a future where healthcare is more personalized, predictive, and proactive.
Right.
They're creating tools that empower both patients and healthcare providers to make better decisions
Yeah.
and achieve better outcomes.
It's been an incredible journey exploring the world of Tempus AI.
It has.
We've covered so much ground, from their innovative technology to their impressive growth to their vision for the future of healthcare.
I feel like we've only just scratched the surface.
Yeah, me too.
It's clear that Tempus is a company to watch, and I'm excited to see what they accomplish in the years to come.
Me too. And I'm sure we'll be revisiting this topic in future deep dives as Tempus continues to innovate and evolve.
For sure.
But for now, I want to leave our listeners with a thought-provoking question. We've seen how Tempus is shaping the present and future of healthcare.
Right.
But what about you? How do you see AI impacting your own health and the healthcare landscape as a whole?
That's a great question.
Think about the possibilities, the challenges, and the ethical considerations that come with this transformative technology.
It's an important conversation to have.
And we all need to be a part of it.
Absolutely. The future of healthcare is in our hands, and it's up to us to shape it responsibly.
Well said. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Tempus AI.
Thanks for having me.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking questions.